Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
Oi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Bear. I'm a big scary bear, and I'm here with my family. This is Mama Bear, played by Trace,
You're Mama Bear.
and Papa Bear, played by Marshall.
You're missing an eye.
How you doing
Bitch.
today, champ?
That's not good.
Yep. Never said it was.
Go on,
Never
give it
said it
another
was.
go.
No. I'm not gonna give it another go. That's all you
Come on,
get.
then, Mama. Tell them how it's done.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
what
that's
we
pretty
watched.
good. That's pretty good.
And what we did watch was Puss in
Thank you,
Boots:
dog.
The Last Wish.
Yeah, see, what I did was
Apparently-
I went on YouTube and I rented the movie, right? I rented it for $3.39. It was on sale, ultra high definition, and now I get to watch it as much as I want for the next 48 hours.
It's really weird. Jobe fucking raves and rants about constantly pirating movies. And
Oh,
then
no,
he's
I didn't do
renting.
that. I didn't do that. No, FBI,
Wait,
I didn't do that.
you
I
could've
would
just
never
watched
pirate
it
a
on-
movie.
do you
No,
not have-
no.
Do you not have Prime? Amazon Prime?
No, I do. I was just like, if I can rent it on Prime, I'll rent it on YouTube.
want to give money to small businesses
No, you didn't even have to-
YouTube.
You
Like
didn't even have to
Google.
rent it on Prime. You can just watch it for free.
Oi, you can.
Yeah, you could. You had to rent the first movie, the regular Puss in Boots.
So when
Puss
you
in Boots:
look
The
up
Last-
movies, do you specifically look up like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish
Yeah,
rental?
I looked that up. But when I went
Because
to,
I looked it up,
Oh,
went to
I
went to
went to Wet
streaming.
Watch and everywhere.
just
it
clicked
said
on
where to
Prime
watch.
Video.
It said you could watch it starting at $3.29. That's on YouTube. But on Amazon Prime, it said premium subscription, and I always assume that means stars or something. Unless this one time,
Nope.
Amazon
But
Prime
you
actually had a
wouldn't
movie
just
for
like
free.
look though.
You would
to,
just
like,
take a
double
peek?
check.
No, because I was looking it up while I was at work, and I don't have the app on my phone. I was just
Oh, I saw that you could do it on Amazon Prime with just a quick subscription, which I do in fact own. But then I saw on YouTube it says $3.99 if you use Prime. I'll fucking kill you.
See, it only needs the stars thing, Job. If it looks and it says Amazon Prime with subscription, and then below it says stars with stars subscription.
Or,
Oh,
like,
well,
Stars
you know, it's
exclusive or
just
whatever.
it's been a long day at the factory. I had a piece of rebar go through my eye.
Yeah, it looks right.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
got better.
Is that
yeah,
what happened
Puss
to
in
you? Is that what
Boots.
happened to your dad? He gave you his eye, so now he has missing one, but yours is fine.
But no,
Yeah, he's got
I
the
mean,
Sharingan.
Papa Bear still has both his eyes. One of them just doesn't work.
It would have been really funny if this ended with Papa Bear getting a wish, and he's like, "Oh, I wish I had my eye back."
Back. Oh, parallel parking's a bitch without both eyes for depth perception.
I fit 6 children.
Yeah, so Puss in Boots, apparently 6th installation in the Shrek universe is
Oh,
what the Wikipedia
Shrekiverse,
page.
as I like to call it.
But
The
I was talking to
Farawayverse?
Trace beforehand, and I believe that
Sorry,
there is the Shrek series, and then there is the Puss in Boots series, all operating under the
No.
Far, Far Away universe. No, it's all one series according to you.
Yep.
See, that doesn't seem right to me though.
Nope.
I think
Yep.
it's like an MCU kind of thing, but it's the
So, it
FFC,
It really is.
far FFACU, far,
I can't
far
wait
away
for
cinematic universe.
I can't wait
Firefighters
for
of
the
America.
Shrevengers. Shrekvengers.
I need like
Yeah.
a linear thing for the Puss in Boots. How many Puss in has there been?
It's
two,
just
3?
two.
There's
It's
just two Pussy Boots.
Okay,
There
what
was
about-
a TV show, I think.
What up, Puss in Boots? The Three
Nah.
Diablos.
No, that
Uh,
was a animated
sorry.
short.
That should be Tres Diablos. It's 13 minutes. Yeah.
Have you guys watched the first Puss in Boots?
Not since it first came out.
But you
and
have.
I remember it being long and
right.
boring as shit.
You have, right?
Yeah.
There was a huge step up from the first one to this one.
Absolutely. The first one, honestly, I could see myself giving like a 5.
I mean,
out
it
of
was
10.
11 years in difference, which is like a big time. But
yeah,
also,
but
I
Shrek's
feel like
even older, and
I feel like
Shrek's
DreamWorks had
still
a lot
good.
of fun making this. Does that make sense?
Okay. I haven't seen Shreks in a while. I feel like in that one he explained his origin story as being like his boots are like glued to his feet or some shit.
Incorrect.
Is that
That does
Oh,
not seem right.
that must be the Dahmer effect or whatever.
The Mandela
Wait,
effect.
Sure.
the first scene we ever see Puss in Boots in, he takes his fucking cleats off.
His cleats.
Cleats.
Yeah.
He's getting
Yeah.
ready for football season, but he's Spanish, so it's
El football.
soccer. Nope.
El
I was thinking of-
soccer.
Okay.
Nah, but overall impressions,
Well, I'll try not
huge
to do
step
that.
up from the previous Puss in Boots movie, and for me, this one was really good. I'm gonna say it. I really enjoyed this movie.
It
This
was
movie
very.
Dare I
was
say?
fun.
Fun. Thoughts from the Peanut Gallery and
Go fuck
Trace.
yourself.
Down a peg.
Nothing.
One
Any one
second.
of you. Just a
Marshall or
thought.
Jobe, go ahead.
What am I supposed to be saying?
Just your
I'm
general
wondering.
thoughts on the movie, like we always do.
Oh
One second, I'm
yeah,
looking at
sorry. I mean, I've listened to a few episodes, but this is my first time on the pod, and it's just very exciting.
This
for me
is
to be here.
horrible. I looked up Puss in Boots costume, expecting it to just be like boots, hat, belt with a sword, and a cape. It's like the full cat costume too, though.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
makes sense.
$90.
Well, because you're not a cat, idiot.
Yeah, but like I don't need to be a cat in order to be Puss in Boots.
But
you know
then
what I
you'd
mean?
just be Zorro. You
Yeah,
wouldn't be
you
Puss
caught
in
me.
Boots.
I'm not a cat. I'm a dog.
No, because then I would also have other clothes on too. I'm completely naked except for the boots, the belt, the cape, and the hat, and the sword,
Okay.
obviously.
But
Overall,
Joe,
general
yeah.
thought
Where did
is this movie is pretty good. I feel like
It's
there's some
fun.
elements missing that I would like to have seen, but we
True,
can get into that
very
later.
true. Like Shrek.
Trace. Now, because Joe liked it and I liked it, you must hate it. I'm
Okay,
I'm
sure.
assuming.
It does not hold like the same story as like the original German folk tale.
There's no
For
way it's a
what?
German folktale.
I'm pretty sure. I thought
He's Spanish.
For what German Goldilocks?
Oh, maybe.
Are you talking Puss in Boots?
the bears eat the little
I feel like I remember it being German.
Who's German?
Adolf.
Yeah, Puss in Boots story, which is included in the 1812 collection of German folk tales compiled by the Brothers Grimm. I remember that because
they
I
were
put
out there
on
writing about trolls
because
and
I
shit,
no.
and then
yes.
partway through they're like, fuck it, hat
What
with
if we made him
boots.
Spanish?
What if we made a little Spanish fucking
But I remember that because I actually put this play on for a bunch of like 10-year-olds because I had to do like a little theater camp for kids in high school. So they really wanted to do Puss in Boots, and I was like, okay, but here's the thing, it's not gonna be like Shrek Puss in Boots. And they're like, we want Puss in Boots, we want to do Puss in Boots. And I was like, okay, but again, I just want you to know, it's like, I want to be the girl cat. I'm like, there is no girl cat.
Trace got peer
Trace says there
pressured
is
by
no girl
10-year-olds.
cat.
I did. Eventually, that girl
said,
fully allowed to be a girl cat. I just wrote in shitty lines. Like, meow.
Trace thinks cats reproduce asexually.
God damn, Trace.
No
you're
girl
not-
cats. Just Puss in Boots going boom. And then one
there's
of them's
just
like, fear me
another
if you
Puss in
dare.
Boots.
All right,
Ugh.
that was a visual gag Trace just did.
Yeah,
they
it
were
was-
fissioning.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw this in theaters. I had
pissing.
I
a
didn't.
great
This is my first
time
time.
watching it. Animation was great. It was giving Spider-Verse esque how the colors worked
Oh, okay.
together.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If
Oh,
that
yeah,
makes sense.
It saw Spider-Verse and went, oh, we could do that,
I
except
thought
we
you were
have
gonna say
fucking
it
bass
was
in
like,
it.
as good as. I was like, mm.
I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I'm curious. How many, if any, how many times did you cry, Marshall, when you watched this first time?
I don't
Or
think
this
I did
time.
actually.
Interesting.
You think?
You're
Because
so-
you
you're
think the
so
Goldilocks part
baby.
would have gotten me.
Which part?
The last one.
Okay,
Last Wish?
that's fair. That's fair.
so,
I love a good
Marshall,
Flynn.
Marshall, hurry up and give the synopsis so we can really get into
Synopsis.
All right,
Say.
Puss in Boots. It's been he's been gallivanting across the world. He's having a party. He eventually does this huge musical number. He dies. Doctor says, "Dude, you're on your last life of your 9 lives." Puss in Boots is like, "I'm fucking Puss in Boots. Hey yo, what up?
Dude,
Give
he
me some
slaps his
fucking
Puss in
shots of
Boots so
milk."
much in the first 15 minutes.
The wolf shows up and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill you because I'm a bounty hunter." And then Puss is like, "Well,
What
I'm
did he
terrified."
learn?
To the crazy cat lady. Can you guys shut up?
What, you
Say
can hear
anything!
me? All that,
Yes, I could.
all that bitching about my distance from the mic, and you can hear me this whole time.
Yeah,
It's not.
but
It's not for Marshall now. It's for Marshall editing later.
It's like a little conscience in the back of my head, just going.
Oh,
that's not good. Why
Anyway,
would you do
I'm so
that?
sorry. You just made it to Mama Luna's.
Yeah. Crazy cat lady. Puss in Boots buries his boots and his sword and his hat and his little cape thing, and he goes and lives out his days with the crazy cat lady, shitting in a litter box, getting old. He eventually meets a chihuahua named Perito, who is a little bit, I don't know, weird. The crime family of Goldilocks and the Three Bears arrive at the crazy cat lady's home looking for Puss in Boots. They don't find him. He overhears them saying that they're trying to get the map to the wishing star. They'll grant any wish. And Puss goes, "Oh, I can get my lives back." And so he wants to go steal the map.
Much not what
Did he
Mr.
become
Ed
fucking
Boots
Ray
sounds
Romano?
like. Deborah! I have a plan to get my lives back!
go. I have to go somewhere to get my wish.
So Puss and Perito go to the factory lair of Big
There's
Jack
a little
Horner.
dog.
Can you shut the fuck up?
And his little dog too.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my brother, Robert.
So he attempts to steal the map, and while he does that, his home slice, side piece, main piece, Kitty Softpaws is there, who also wants the map. Boom, surprise, Goldilocks and the Bears also want the map. A scuffle happens. Puss, Kitty Southpaws, and Perito sprint off into the distance with the map. They eventually end up in the pocket dimension world with the map. And they go along their merry way. Shenanigans happen. Puss has a heart attack, a panic attack. The wolf shows up again. We find out the wolf is not a bounty hunter, but the actual incarnation of death. Goldilocks has a moment of nostalgia, realizing, hey, these bears are my family, and then goes, nah, fuck them. Yada, 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 scuffle, scuffle, scuffle. They get all the way to the end. Puss is about to make his wish. A big scuffle happens again. Goldilocks realizes the bears are her family. And then Puss decides to give death the business and start living his life without fear, but living in the moment and something. And then Jack Horner just like dies too. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. I swear to God, what is this chat mess?
Merry Shaftmas to you two and
What?
to all who celebrate.
Hey, you want to see
Wow.
my kitty
Is
soft
that your
paws?
very
You
own
want
Kitty Soft Paws?
It'd be really
Yeah,
funny
look
if you
at
pulled
him.
him up and he had a cool hat on, but
Rocky would be
unfortunately he's just fat
called
as fuck.
Kitty Shit Paws.
Dude, he
He-
just took
he-
a shit.
He would be called the fucking fat piece of shit.
Now,
They'd be
now
called a
listen.
little stinky fuckhead.
He'd
What
be called
he-
the little cat I threw across the fucking room because he clawed my chest.
I'm a big fan in this one of Puss in Boots, Perito,
Cat.
This is the
and Big
most-
Jack Horner is also great in my opinion in this one. Thoughts? Not a fan of Big Jack Horner?
I'm sorry, who?
John Mulaney's character?
What?
Are you guys like you guys are fucking with me, aren't you?
What are you talking
What?
about?
What the hell are you talking about?
Are you thinking of like? Did we watch the same movie?
I don't want to be here.
I feel like we might not be on the same page. Okay, so
All right.
what did we say the dog's name was again? I don't want to.
I liked burrito.
I don't want.
Although,
Did you call it burrito?
no, it's perito.
Oh, sorry. You pronounced it very quickly, and I was like,
sorry. Let me get more.
took me a second to like grab
may I say this word Hispanic with it?
I liked him too. I thought he was fun, but also okay. I kind of like Goldilocks' character though. She was kind of like an anti-villain kind of thing. Also,
So what are we doing here, guys? Nothing on the Big Jack Horner thing. One of the main antagonists of the whole thing. You guys just forgot who this guy was.
Great. My brother showed up and he drives like an asshole.
It's
Anyway.
okay. I can't hear it.
Okay, good. Then most likely, could you just like cut that out?
We can hear Trace fucking dying over there, but
Yeah.
no mention
Well,
of Big Jack Horner. Huh?
That's because I'm so close to the mic. It's like right here.
Dude, I wish my mic was. I wish my mic was that close, but I just can't get any closer to my face.
So how old do we think? Because he's got 9 lives. How many?
Oh, he's 47.
206.
He's 206 years old. All right, that's how we're okay. How old?
I
is
really like
Boots
Salma
and
Hayek.
Boots.
As Kitty Softpaws.
She's pretty good.
Just in general.
In human
Oh.
years, Puss in Boots would be around 20 to 21 years old. 21 to
So
22
this episode's
in
just gonna suck,
2011.
right? Like we're just agreeing on that.
What?
What do you?
What's
what-
Marshall
We got
said- okay, what do you
Trace
think
going
about-
off. Trace is going
I
off on a
asked the
tangent,
question, and
We're
I'm
just
confirming the
doing bits
question.
about the movie.
and I'm just trying to talk about Big Jack Horner, and everyone keeps going, "Oh, you do." See,
Look, it's fine. Maybe I missed something. That's
miss.
I don't really know what.
was he
Sorry, let's read the word titular.
one of the baker's dozen?
Oh God, Madison's typing already.
Wait. It takes me a second.
She's asking. She's at for our audio listeners who can't read my phone. She's asking why she only hears arguing.
I don't know. Dear Madison, it's a mystery because we've
Dear
done
Madison.
nothing wrong. This
I don't. Yeah, I'm not really sure what.
Maybe I was a
is
little
going-
full on with a baby bear impression off the top.
No, I didn't. I didn't hate Baby Bear. Although it is weird to consider their names are just what they are. I know that like, I get it. That's fine. I'm meeting the movie at its level on that. It's just when I first, when I heard the story growing up of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, I just kind of assumed it was like a, hey, your mom and dad aren't actually named mom and dad, and like brother isn't brother. It's like, hey, this is Kevin. Your dad's name is James, and your mother's name is
the Bernstein
Bonita.
Bears. It is funny if you ever watched that cartoon or read those.
It's been a
books,
hot
it's
minute.
'cause- But so they live in a whole society of bears, right? And everybody in this town calls like Papa Bear Papa, and it's
Well, but that's like not unheard of though, because like my Nana
What?
obviously isn't named Nana, and she's also not my blood relative, but I still just call her Nana.
okay, yeah. But I'm talking like this is a man who does business with other bears from out of town. Like, oh yes, you must be Papa.
Okay, and you're telling me that if you were like working in construction and you were going to buy some lumber, you wouldn't just like shake the guy's hand and go, "Thanks, Daddy."
No.
That's so
I
weird.
mean, it's like Trace's real name is Trace, but every time he pisses me off, I just call him dipshit, and everyone just thinks that's his name.
That's not
a
true, actually.
That's a
That is
paro bit. You saw that in the
100% not
movie.
true. You call me twerp more than anything
That's
ever,
true. You're a big
especially
twerp
in the last
dad.
like year.
You're right. You're right.
You've been big on twerp lately. There's another. What's the other one you're on about?
bitch.
He
No,
does
that's
say
not
bitch
it.
a lot. It's quite. I've gotten letters from some of our female listeners. They don't appreciate it.
So we're in a little bit of a tangent zone.
Yeah,
Joe,
we are.
You
Sorry
wanted
about
me to
that. I don't remember how that
summarize
went.
it so you could get more into what you liked about this movie.
Yeah,
So
go
now
ahead.
I've summarized it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
No, I was gonna finish my sentence, but that's okay.
No, go on.
Yeah, I
go
said
on.
we both. I said, oh yeah, go on. It was a
But
commentary on you.
Why would
answering.
you have to say that in my sentence?
I kind of thought it was a
Well-
call and response.
I forgot. This isn't
Clearly
a
it was-
conversation that happens. We're just here so Mark has somebody to talk
Clearly it was
to
rhetorical.
during the
Clearly I
podcast.
misread the situation, and clearly I apologize.
So you guys don't know sentence structure, where I just go, so Job, blah 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 blah, comma. I have a pause for the comma, and then I finish it with a dependent clause. I'm not gonna say the word comma out loud. What, Trace?
Was that all? Was that also rhetorical? Or did you
Also-
want me to respond?
I think you're
Job-
being very bold in stating that it's going to be a dependent clause, but we'll see.
Job,
That must be one of the
Just-
clauses in the movies.
just talk
Like,
about what you liked in the
Santa
movie.
Claus.
All right. So I do like, as we mentioned earlier, the little dog fuck. He's pretty great. Also, I don't know. I enjoy it when there's a personification of, or I guess a wolfification of death.
Fursona.
Oh god, that is Death's persona, isn't it? Oh fuck. Anyway, I like when death is physicalized in fiction. It's a trope that I can't, like, off the top of my head think of an example that I don't like, you know?
I don't like.
I just think
Richa's
it's-
great.
It,
He's
it really
okay.
speaks to the eternal conflict of man versus death.
But isn't death in nature if you think about it?
Also, isn't it a cat?
So,
It's
I
a
guess
wolf.
it's cat versus nature.
Well, it'd be cat versus death in this, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's man versus animal.
Also, 100% is supernatural versus supernatural. The cat fucking talks
nah, that's just
and
a
can
regular
wield a
cat.
rapier.
A what?
A rapier.
I do like the part where Perito cusses out the bears.
That was
part
pretty
also
good.
Funny.
I
That's
also,
another thing.
it did catch me off when he first said, "They call me bad dog, stupid dog, shit for brains." I was like,
Yeah.
"What?
I
You
I
can't do that even if it's a
enjoy that.
bleep."
I do enjoy it when, like, there's a bleep, but it's obvious, like, what word is being said.
It could have been fuck.
I mean, there was a
It's
couple
definitely
when he
shit
was
for brains.
cussing out the bears. I was like, wait, what word goes there? I was trying to do
Nah, I
like
definitely call them fuck nuggets.
ad lib, like, all right, put a bleep in here.
I mean, that's what they ended up doing in that
It was
SpongeBob
a-
episode.
I
don't
did
you
like
know?
a lot of the dialogue. The bears were funny. It was like, I don't have dingleberries. Yes, you do, son.
Actually,
do
you
have-
do.
You do.
I liked the bears. I think the bears are one of my favorite parts. 'Cause Puss in Boots is he's cool. I like him, but like at the same time, like, we've fleshed him out. I want to know what these bears are up to.
I
What
don't know.
about-
I didn't like. They were okay, but they weren't my favorite part. I think it might just be because I get so thrown with this blatant favoritism from Mom and Papa Bear. Like, they're always like, they just do what Goldie wants to do, and then Baby Bear's like,
Well-
"Oh, I have an idea. Let's go nick some pies." And then Goldie's like, "Nah, it's a stupid fucking idea, you damn fuck."
I mean,
And
it was
then,
kind of a bad idea.
I mean, yes, it was, but
I mean,
at the same
true,
time,
but-
I mean, the mom and dad, they're always gonna lean more towards the adopted kid to make them feel more ingrained in the family, as
Trace
you could
knows.
probably attest, Marshall.
Because Trace was adopted.
He was
Yes.
adopted by a nice 4-inch tall man after his house burned down.
Yeah.
He tried to pick me up, and I almost killed him the first day I met him. Because
What do
I
you guys-
was
Willow,
already
but
12 years old.
much smaller.
What do you guys think of the fight sequences in this? With namely, a lot of them is Puss in Boots versus Death, but Puss in Boots versus everyone else.
I
too, at
did
some
like
point.
the animation and a lot of the fighting. I will say that did kind of give me like kind of Spider-Verse vibes. Now that you're saying it, like just the way that they're like running
like,
at the
range
camera and we're seeing
walking.
all the like the lines just kind of go past him, and it's like it's given Spidey sense thing almost because cat like reflexes.
A little too inspired by Spider-Verse, I almost want to say, because
Yeah,
the movie does have its own style, but in those fight scenes, yeah, all I can think about is
And-
Spider-Verse.
and they even have like the whole thing where like
When like
So
a hit lands, it changes the color palette. And
well,
it's
I was thinking more
insane.
along the lines of like it has Puss in Boots and Kitty Soft Paws or whatever like climbing on walls and like sticking to things like a Spider-Man would. So like they clearly stole
the thing where Puss drops Kitty Softpaws back into her own timeline.
Yeah. And then there's at one point like he grabs Perito and is like, "You are a toy."
That that's funny. Into the Spider-Verse does have a big scary villain, a big fat guy, Kingpin. And
This movie would be great for that.
yeah, it's kind of funny that
I
was
was
a trend we were missing.
that would be like almost a like mirror thing for it. That'd be pretty good.
I just want you guys to know that you're slowly dropping down on my favorite people list.
I'm okay.
For why? For K.
For why? I'm sorry that you feel that way, I guess.
You know exactly what. You know what? I'm gonna move and not tell you where the address is, and you won't be able to find the baby.
Dude, you'll accidentally dox yourself sooner or later.
Yeah, your Snapchat location's on.
Of all the people, I think I've doxed myself 0 times.
Texas.
Yeah, that's a big ass state.
It's
word.
bigger than anything in Europe.
It's the biggest state in America.
You could put like
fucking
6
Alaska.
Germanys in it.
It has the GDP of Madagascar.
I had an in-ground pool.
So,
My sister wrote a paper on how rich we were.
And we were this rich.
Richer than you.
you like jazz?
That's good. That's a B-movie reference. I like it. It's also animated, you know.
What
Yeah,
did
my
you
next
guys
pick is
think?
gonna be B-movie in Espanol.
What did you guys think
Pretty
of the story that they were trying to tell with, or like the moral theme that they're trying to do with Puss in Boots and his, trying to learn how to live or kind of live his life?
I think it. Trace, you go. I've been.
I mean,
stop this whole time.
I'm gonna get yelled at because I feel like it's gonna be that's the point of the movie. But like, still could have gotten like still could have done that with the 9 lives. Like that could have just been I wish for my 9 lives back, and then like they're like, and now I will leave each of them to the fullest, and
They
like
could've,
just kind of
but
live in
what's
the
the
moment of
point?
each life, not
I mean,
worrying
could've.
about it.
Kind of. They didn't.
Also,
He
how many lives does Softpaw have? That's a question I want to know.
Well,
She's Salma Hayek, and so she.
That's
doesn't
true.
live
That is a
forever.
difference between them.
I mean, Antonio, don't take this the wrong way. You're great, but I mean, Salma Hayek, man.
so are we just gonna not talk about John Mulaney?
We can talk about it.
That's-
I'm not sure what he has to do with the movie, but we can. I can. Is he like fully reformed now? Is that a thing?
Yeah, he's
Okay, I genuinely, I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with
He-
him or his like
he-
specials the last few years.
He went to rehab. He married Olivia Wilde.
Oh,
Olivia
he just had
something.
a kid with Olivia Munn, but
That's
I
it.
don't think
It's
I don't think
Olivia
they're
Munn.
married.
No, it was Psylocke.
That's Olivia Munn.
No, it's
Is it?
Olivia. Yeah, it was Olivia.
Yeah, I'm right.
Oh, nice, good one, Marshall. Anyway,
You know what else I read about? Big Jack Horner in this movie is a giant Kingpin-esque villain voiced by John Mulaney, who is just the worst. In a movie filled with villains with redeemable qualities like the Bears, Big Jack Horner is just the worst. They prove this by having a little cricket on his shoulder as Jiminy Cricket, a la his conscience, inform Big Jack Horner that he is,
Like
in
more like a
fact,
grasshopper.
the worst several times.
I remember the.
I bet you
crickets.
do, big guy. You guys in your fucking CTE over there in the state of Iowa.
Hey, don't give that to Jobe. That's my thing.
No, you
I
guys
think
both
I
have
can't
it after
remember.
this.
Jobe, did you also hurt yourself? I don't.
No, Trace, did you know that a symptom of long-term depression is also memory loss?
Yeah,
Do you know I got fucking?
that's why
schooled
it's
you
so
guys
hard to
in-
diagnose what I have.
I
I
schooled you guys in
think you're
Pong
just
last
genuinely
Sunday.
depressed.
Yeah, and we beat your fucking ass in beer ball.
Well, that's
Actually, I had to
my sister-
explain. I had to explain what beer ball was to my nana, but because they're like, "Why are you so tired today?" And I was like,
Why are you
I was like,
tired,
"Nana, I'm gonna be real with you.
What you all
I
bruised
fucking
for, child?
destroyed at beer ball last night." And she's like, what's that? And I was like, all right. So I let him up. I was like, so imagine if I
Line
throw
him
it,
up with
if I
your
throw
nana.
it, and my aunt has to like start, she has to crack it open. She has
She
to
has a
chug it until
shark?
somebody like throws the ball and thing and goes table, and then she's like, I don't think I'd be good at that anymore. And I was like, anymore?
Yeah, my
Hmm.
sister
So
kind of
she
threw. I didn't want to say it, but my sister was throwing that day.
I don't know. I hit almost every single time I threw.
Yeah, but then remember you hit it, and then Jordan grabbed said drink, and then drank her own, giving you guys an extra sip.
Marshall,
There he goes.
well, yeah, but that's because she's, I'm not going to say how old she is, incriminate her. But she wants
46.
to drink. She wants to drink, and I get that.
Let's
She's had a
just
long
say
life.
She's got a sock on her from the human world.
I don't like that because I don't know what that means. But anyway,
It's a 2319.
Puss in Boots, Last
no,
Wish.
gotcha. What about
Great
it?
movie.
It was
You
pretty
guys
good.
are
It was
just
alright.
haters.
Why? I didn't say anything about hating the
We've
movie.
been-
Because
I mean,
you're
I've
using your
been-
CTE to
Been
cover up
doing
Big
nothing
Jack
but
Horner.
like praising the movie. If anything,
I've
honestly.
admittedly been a bit nitpicky, but that's just because the good qualities about it, I think, are very
It's-
obvious.
I
When you
just want
watch it,
like,
it's pretty clear why someone might like it. I think.
yeah. I just wish like softball had a thing of like he's like, I'm on my last life, and she'd be like, well, I've been on my last life for a while now, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, she's also on her last
That
life, or
could
she'd be
have
like,
been that's actually a good.
I think
idea.
that could be like
that's a good point, Trace. I actually will agree with you. That's
because I think it could have been like something a little bit to add to that, other than just her saying, I can never compete with your true love. What was that? Yourself.
Yeah, at certain
like,
points, this movie does have a bad habit of like dumbing itself down.
a
I
little
mean,
bit.
it is a kids movie. Like,
It is,
to
but-
be
But it
to
has
be fair,
blood in it.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy,
also
though,
Puss in
for,
Boots
like-
says, "What the hell?"
for like
Yeah.
a kids movie to actually have blood in it, like a
And a
DreamWorks
dog
movie,
says shit.
like it's kind of
Says
crazy.
shit for
They
brains.
stretch that PG rating pretty
do.
far.
Like they were allowed one non-sexual fuck, and they didn't use it for some
Not
reason.
in PG movies.
G13.
No, because I watched
it-
Airplane, which is rated PG, and there's a big old pair of tits in that movie.
Yeah, but that's
Big
like a
ol' set of
1980 or PG. That it's not
Yeah,
the
I don't
same.
think
A
PG-13
1980 PG
existed.
is like a 2025 RX or
Hey,
whatever.
Siri, what was the first movie to get a PG-13 rating?
God,
Wasn't
it's
it?
gonna be something
Oh no,
stupid
because
like
Mortal
Tombs.
Kombat was the first one to get like an M rating. Or, like they made that whole
Ah.
thing for Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat was one of the games credited with the invention of the ESRB for video games.
Good for them or something.
So
Because
what do we
Hillary
think about?
Clinton was like, let me tell you why this video game sucks. It's demonic. It turns your child into Satanist. And Katana, she
Yeah, but
just
she's
isn't
stupid.
doing proper martial arts.
I'll show her.
Anyway, it was Red Dawn.
That's good.
The
what do
original,
we
I assume?
Yeah.
No, they didn't have PG-13 ratings until 2009.
With Josh Peck.
What
Shut
do you guys?
the fuck up, Clyde!
What do you guys feel?
Again?
Um,
I'm sorry, Marshall. It was
Marshall.
just, I wasn't done with my bit. So
I know you're
what-
in a
what-
whole new power grid than us because you're.
Marshall, pretend you're in a new power grid.
For those
not-
of you who are just listening,
Marshall
Trace...
went,
Okay, that's not very helpful. For those of you who are just listening, Trace said, for those of you who aren't watching,
they know
then we
that
did-
part.
and then he did what Marshall did, which for those of you just listening, Marshall, when he was asked to act like he's in a new power
This is a
grid,
good episode. I'm happy.
I take it back. I disagree. This episode sucks.
Interesting.
The
So
energy
when-
has been weird. There's been a lot of tension for no reason.
there's absolutely a reason, and I'm going to talk to your mothers about it,
No, don't
and your
tell
dad,
on
Trace,
me.
Oh.
and my wife.
All right,
to
but you're
y'all.
gonna have to pick him up. It's a little hard to.
All right.
Um,
While
what-
Marshall makes
No, hold
some
on. I want to
calls.
make a point, and I don't want you guys to leave it. What do you guys think
Finally
about
did that.
death, whistling / as the kids would say, aura farming? Most of this movie.
I think. You know what? I think he does a good job of it. I think he's I think
He's
the
extra.
whistling has some add some ominous, very eerie scenery and kind of giving it a little bit
Scenery.
of some audio scenery. It's a thing.
Yeah. There's
It
an
just it gives
audio
a
landscape.
it's given the it's kind of given the stakes immediately because a lot of we have the thing, the bears don't know what it is. The bears are like, oh, oi, what's that? But Puss is immediately like hair standing up and he's like, oh fuck.
Holy frijoles.
Exactly. That was a good
Like
line.
the man's the most extra like fucking dude of all time.
He is not a man. He is wolf death.
Fine. Mr. Wolf Death is pretty fucking extra.
Hello,
You
I'm
have
Mr. Wolf.
he does hit the Darth Maul. I have a lightsaber. Wait, it connects.
Dude, he okay, I will say Wolf probably one of my favorite characters simply for the fact of I think sickles and scythes are a drastically underused choice of weaponry. They kick
It's
ass
because
and it
they're
takes a lot of skill.
unwieldy, and
That's why it takes skill, and he has it.
He's death. What'd you feel about Puss in Boots' other deaths that they show us, all being like born from his hubris and showing that he can stand to be a little humble?
Some of them pretty funny. Other ones I'm like, yeah. Like
But not the actual deaths. The idea that it was his
the
hubris.
concept.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, it is the root of his like own his own issue. Like it's the root of his evil. That's the one thing that's gonna get him killed the most. Like when in the very beginning, the giant like throws him and he with the sign and he's just like going through buildings and he's just like and I'm like, you should be a little worried. You should be a little worried because you don't know that you're on your second to the last life.
You're not his
but
fucking dad. You don't get to tell him when he has to be worried.
Dude, when he's fighting the giant and
I'm
the
German
other
Spanish.
giant at the end of the movie with the Spanish splinter, that did make me like.
I mean,
just
I know,
like
yeah.
The feeling
when he did
of
it with
like
the giant, it was crazy.
and the other one.
Why does a giant made of rocks have
a thumb
nails?
Or nail? Yeah, I don't know.
Why does a bag of flesh have nails? You fucking twerp.
Well, we have fingernails. It actually helps us.
Actually, don't know.
I mean, picking up the finer details of texture because the hard backing of a fingernail actually gives our fingertips something to press against when they're touching something, which allows us to point out the finer details.
So
it's probably a carryover from when we had big scary claws. Ooh.
Well, I mean, it yes, it does help with grip. One of the main reasons is protection, but also I feel like that's kind of weird because like we wouldn't need like yes, it's like more tender under there, but it's because the nail is there. If the nail wasn't there, it wouldn't be tender, and we wouldn't need the nail for protection. Like otherwise, we just have like I don't know because our nails aren't like say like a keratin or
yeah.
So like when we have that over our whole body for
you
protection.
Know what rhymes with keratin?
Capricin.
Capri Sun.
Yeah,
and we'll take a Capri Sun break really quick. Welcome back from that Capri Sun break, and I had a meeting with my producer and the studio audience, and they told Jobe and Trace to stop being little bitches and acknowledge Big Jack Horner's existence, or they will kill them. So, guys, let's talk about Big Jack Horner. I loved him. John Mulaney did a great job. Loved him in Across the Spider-Verse as I fucking hate Trace. Why do you have to make so many noises?
I told you I wasn't ready that time, and you went, oh, all right, let's go.
He's got
I was hoping you'd be quiet, just a little bit.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, no. Bad.
Back to our ASMR channel where Trace eats a fucking apple.
Oh, that can make it go better.
Fucking apple of all things.
He's got them horse.
Oh.
Stop that. You eat an apple like a horse.
Nah, Lucas. Now he was a man who could eat an apple like a horse.
Now, like I was saying, John Mulaney as Spider Pig in a Spider-Man movie.
No,
that
sure,
was
that's
good.
True.
But now, here as Big Jack Corner, I feel like he really just lets loose, and just John Mulaney's all over the whole thing. You guys just want to
Yep.
be done?
No, no, I still got more I want to talk about.
Yeah, there's some other stuff. Like
Say
the
something.
Music. The music. I
Oh, the
thought
music?
was- Huh?
Yeah, the music, the one at the beginning where he's singing a song.
Well, there's
it was
also
great.
music towards the beginning, or
Who
towards
is
the
your
middle. Towards the end.
favorite fearless
I like when he started doing that with
hero? Who is your
himself.
favorite
He's like,
hero?
I must find a way to get out of these caves. Then all of his things like, hey, let's party, and he's like, yeah, okay, why not?
It's fucking weird to think. I think one of the worst things that could happen to me is being locked in a cave with 8 other me's.
I mean, you could take that number to like one other you, and that'd be the worst.
Wow. Okay.
I
this
feel like
is-
Marshall's lashing
get
out,
whatever
and it's
we're doing
largely
now.
for
I am.
absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure
I-
what's
What's
You guys just gave me a
Getting your
heart murmur.
heart-
heart murmur.
His heart went. Oh, you should talk about the movie next.
What are we talking about?
At the music.
Yeah, music.
I said it was good. What
I
else
was
do you
going
want
to
from
say
me?
that
I'm
the
at-
score. Do you want to be done? You seem over this episode.
Yeah.
Which is surprising and strange.
'Cause you
Like,
love
this
this
is a
movie.
movie that you picked that we like, we're
And we
I
really
do
want to
like
talk
it.
about it, but you kind of seem like you're
Then
angry.
talk about
okay.
it. You
Well,
just
we're
keep eating
trying
your
to.
fucking
I'm trying to
apple.
talk about it. You interrupt. You're like,
shoot all
No, you're not. You're eating-
conversation
what are we
in
talking
the
about?
head.
We're
It's
talking
like-
about the music. Yeah, it's okay.
All
Moving
right,
on.
go. Talk
Moving
about,
on. Nope.
Talk about it.
I thought it was a pretty funny running gag how we have the Baker's Dozen and they're all introduced as like this group of like elite assassins, I think, or something. And then like none of them actually do anything.
One of them has a
It's
really
like,
cool
they just-
whisk or like a little beater gun.
but they're, like,
It's like
holding
a
it like
mini
a
gun.
mini
It's like
gun.
boom,
Yeah.
boom.
But also like
That's
they
pretty
all
funny.
just die horribly.
Why did they die?
Well, I know
A lot of them were to
a
the roses.
chunk of them died to the posies.
A posy, sorry. That was stupid.
They're
That's so
pocket full
stupid of me. They
posies.
looked rose-like, but
Well, they do also say stop and smell the roses.
yeah, that got
I think
me.
that's more of just
it's
like
it's the turn of
the-
phrase, but like
Is a
the phrase-
posy a type
it
of
shows you
rose?
can just say
I don't know.
phrase.
It's like
I can also say a
so-
turn of phrase, and it's also perfectly grammatically correct.
Yeah,
don't feel like
it's,
it
it's
is.
a very quotable bit of cultural meme.
I think Marshall's just finding any little thing to try to stick on to me, and it's not gonna work this episode. I
don't know,
destroyed
when-
Marshall in a battle of wits this last week, and he's been upset
When?
over the entire thing.
You've not destroyed me in a battle of
I
wits in our
have.
life.
I have, because you were upset about me not showing up for dinner, and I told you I had plans prior to, and you're like, when? And then I immediately like, boom, snap or screenshot, red receipts, there you go. And then Marshall
Boy,
cried.
howdy. It's
But it was
Trace
mainly
has
because he
always
didn't get
had
his
it out for me.
babbles.
it's a good I'm just glad that the washing machine is open and available because we're throwing out some dirty laundry
Listen,
right now.
like I said, Trace has had it out
That's
for
not
me
true.
ever since he said no one's ever beat me in Exploding Kittens, and then I drunkenly beat him in Exploding
That
Kittens
okay,
immediately.
that is not entirely correct. Because that
It's
is not
perfectly
that is
correct.
not the game that I quoted that to. That is the original story of that was you saying that I mentioned I'm very good at exploding kittens, and then you beat me. I never claimed to have never been beaten
No,
at
you
exploding kittens. It was
absolutely did.
Monopoly.
I have perfect recall.
No, you don't.
You are stupid.
If you had perfect recall, you would have known that we had a conversation about why I couldn't make dinner.
I was just trying to ignore
Uh-huh.
that.
He's hoping if he
Marshall doesn't
remembers
like
enough,
being
you
incorrect.
forget.
If you had perfect recall, you'd remember about Jack Horner in this
Look,
movie.
some
Sword.
things,
Never click.
some
Hey,
thi-
there it is.
some things I don't recall because I've had
For a
several
bad
concussions.
recall.
God, you
Some
and these
things I
fucking
cling to just to
concussions.
piss off Marshall, like the fact that he was wrong several times in our lives. Also, I thought you were
Trace-
gonna do a thing of you were gonna say Trace has had it out for me ever since the time he said I have it out for Marshall.
That would have been funny. The
Where
good
would
news
that bit have
is-
come from?
I don't know. I thought it
You
would have been
guys-
funny though. That would have been a funnier bit than what you did.
guys are like my own kitty soft paws and Puss in Boots, whereas I am but a humble Perito.
Is it because we both want to get rid of you, and Marshall and I are definitely going to kiss somewhere in our lives?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And because I'm declawed.
Okay, so you're gonna make Trace be Antonio Banderas.
No, he's Puss
Fear
in
me
Boots,
if
whereas
you
Antonio
dare.
Banderas has.
To be fair, I am the best
Puss in
swordsman
Boots
here.
in that is so good. He's just like, let's get it over with. Fear me if you.
That was pretty good. Oh,
and then,
Dude.
he like crawls off
Now.
his little stool and like
The amount of times I quote my little gatito blade
I have
in my daily.
never once heard it.
you.
It's never come up in our.
Interesting,
whenever
because
we
you
hang
you
out.
force bits all the time with us.
I don't force this one. This one's
Okay.
You'll, like,
sneaky.
You'll ruin
sneaky.
whole podcast episodes for the sake of a bit.
I will ruin whole podcast episodes.
Yeah,
I will-
remember that episode where you pretended not to like Transformers?
Remember that episode where you said Power Rangers was good? No. Like, it's a funny. It's not bad.
For those of you just listening, not watching, Marshall's throwing up.
Marshall's
big
doing
pout.
this.
Stop doing that.
Now that's a funny bit.
That's not. That's stupid.
No,
and
it's
it
funny. Also,
alienates the
Jobe,
audience.
I want to show appreciation that when you gave us our roles in the trio, you didn't immediately give the obviously Mexican character to Marshall.
They're both Mexican.
Okay, but the
idiot.
Chihuahua is more closely associated with Mexican culture than a ginger cat.
Okay, the ginger cat that speaks Spanish, or the black cat that also
Okay,
speaks Spanish.
but then there's also the Chihuahua that also
I think
speaks
Puss-
Spanish and has more
Puss in
closely related
Boots,
to
I
Mexican
think,
They're just
culture.
speaks
all
the least
Mexican
Spanish.
characters.
Also, he's also Puss in Boots is Spanish.
Puss in Boots is Spanish.
Exactly.
Chihuahua
Different than Mexico.
is a dog.
From
Chihuahua
Mexico.
is Mexican because the state of Chihuahua in Mexico, right?
Did you say the state?
Remember Beverly Hills, Chihuahua?
Yeah.
And then there's that
Where
whole
I
third
wanna
act scene where George Lopez is like,
George
Oh.
Lucas.
no, that was close. I almost did a George Lopez impression.
What?
Go on.
So George Lopez shows up and he's like, "Crikey, I'm George Lopez, and I just found all these bloody chihuahuas running around out there in the bush. Are we gonna?" I don't even remember.
I don't know
who
why
the
he's
girl
mad
in
at
the
that
movie
one.
Was
I don't know what.
I'm just gonna put it out there. If you guys don't want to talk about Jack Horner, then that's
Well-
all right. But you run out of time if you do want to talk about
Wait,
Jack Horner.
is this the Jack Horner from the nursery rhyme? Well,
It's a
Jack Horner
fairy
sat in the
tale.
corner.
It's a
barely
fairy
a
tale.
fairy tale.
What makes a wait? What's the difference between a nursery rhyme and a fairy tale?
Well, in the movie, Jack Horner says it's a fairy tale.
Which movie?
You guys are like, I don't know how to say it, like the bad wart you have on your fucking hand that just keeps coming back, you know? Sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, it's cute. And every now and then you're just like, get this fucking thing off of me.
It's like Puss in Boots with his beard, right?
Dude, Puss in Boots' beard goes crazy, actually.
Well,
I did write in my notes, these cats were horny.
yeah, they were. I will.
Aren't you? You know.
He asked if you're horny.
But yeah, all the time.
So I
See?
will say I didn't really care much for the little snippet of like 10, 15 minutes where they're just like going through his day to day as a boring cat. I'm just like, this is a boring contrast to the movie.
Maybe that's the fucking point.
Yeah, not to be
Consider
funny, but-
The point is to have a boring part of your movie. Seems
'Cause it's
counterintuitive
showing-
to what they want to do with the movie, which is to
More
entertain.
like cats are intuitive.
That's pretty
Well,
good.
they're trying to entertain by showing the fact that, yes, Puss in Boots went from his exciting life to now living as a boring cat. To further enforce that point, they're going to show you his boring life through repetition. Now, with that, then they're going to immediately juxtapose that with an action sequence with the Bear crime family.
I thought that Goldilocks arc was a bit obvious. And
I know your
also-
parents were not great fans of it, but like it's an obvious one, but it's still like a feels good kind of story
I
arc.
mean, yeah, but it kind of also feels like it's there because they just saw Into the Spider-Verse and they're like, oh, we need to have an arc about familial dynamics.
Jobe really likes Spider-Verse.
Good show.
I do.
Or
It's
movie.
almost as good as Spider-Man 2.
Which Spider-Man 2? Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I
Or
won't-
Spider-Man 2?
No,
Said
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is
Spider-Man
dog
2.
shit.
But I said Spider-Man 2.
I was just confirming. Some people say, "Oh, I like Spider-Man," and then you
Some
go, "Which
people
one?"
are fucking fans.
And other people like Tobey Maguire.
So you said Spider-Man 2.
Who's my dog barking at? Oh, someone pulled in the driveway. Clearly, this is a matter of national security. I am so sorry. Give me 1 second.
Marshall, can you edit in a gunshot?
Welcome back. We had some technical difficulties where I think Jobe had to beat up his dog named Perito Jr. the second, third.
Perito.
Chomper would have been better.
You know, that could have been good too.
What about Jeff?
Jeff was a good one.
Underrated character here. I'm gonna pull out Mama Luna. Great fan. A big fan of Mama Luna in this
She's
one.
aight.
Crazy.
She probably
Nah, you
smells like
kidding me?
cat piss.
Immediately hating the health department like a good goddamn American person.
That's true. That's pretty funny.
She's not American. She's from Del Mar.
That's also true.
Del Mar is in America. I colonized it today.
But it wasn't colonized when Mama Luna lived there.
Oh, the movie's in the future.
Oh, okay. That makes
That's
sense.
why animals talk, because of the
that's why,
radiation.
That makes sense.
Donkeys fly.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, man. Good music, good animation, good storyline, great dialogue. Overall, a pretty good movie. Joe, anything else you want to add?
I think Trace actually has something to contribute.
He does. Trace, what do you have to contribute?
It's
bud?
just more so like I'm not gonna appreciate the action parts any more or less if there's a boring part in the movie, you know?
I mean, that's
I
to
think
each their
there's
own, but I
something to
think
be
it's
said
just
about-
showing the characterization of Puss in Boots and what he's going through in his life.
Yeah, I just don't need that. I just don't need 15 minutes of it personally.
It's not 15 minutes. It's like 5 minutes.
That's not true.
It's
It's
not-
also
don't say it's
also
15 minutes. then.
several years.
Shut.
Yeah,
up.
but also
It's at least like 15
Trace's
minutes.
obviously Trace's, I don't know, a Gen Zer and needs a short form
I don't
content.
think I am.
I think
No,
Trace is
because
older than
obviously you
us.
do.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know my gen. I don't give a shit about any of that, so I don't really.
You're
I don't give a shit about
That's
anything.
not. I know
man.
that's not true.
I'm just saying, Trace. Every now and then, you can't have a movie that's go go go. You need a good story ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Okay, but we
goes
don't
in.
always have go in this, and it's still entertaining. Like when they're just like on the
See, just prove
yeah,
that point.
but that
Prove my
part
point.
in particular boring because nothing's
think
happening. If they're on the boat,
there-
nothing's
like-
happening, but they're still talking and they're still progressing the story a bit.
There was, yeah, I guess to your point, there is that scene
To whose point?
where Kate Moss like makes fun of Puss in Boots for having a dead wife, and then like
Kate
we learn
Moss.
earlier that he doesn't even remember that conversation happening. She literally just walks out and then walks back in and starts freaking out because her ex like is beating her
Oh,
or something.
he's talking about
does suck.
Memento and how. Yeah. Just Trace didn't understand Memento. Too.
No, Memento just sucks.
They made a Memento too.
That's good.
Electric Boogaloo.
Well, actually, sorry, no, I shouldn't say that's good because it'd probably be worse, which is hard to
I think
do.
Would Memento
See-
2 take place before or after the?
It would
events of
happen in the
Memento
middle of it.
1?
In the same
Yeah.
time, just from Paul Blart's point of view.
And it's all because he's low on blood
It's
sugar.
just him saying inside the hotel room, going, "Man, this guy's fucking nuts," and throws an envelope under his door.
Dude, we're gonna get one fan who just comment, like our first fan ever is gonna comment on and be like, "Man, Trace really just has zero reading comprehension."
What
I
are we
think our
reading?
first fan- I think our
We're
first
watching
fan.
it
So
ever
we're
will
so
say
we're so we're
Trace.
reading the
I
script.
can't believe you gave Ford
You don't
v
read the
Ferrari a
script?
4 out of 10.
What did I give a 4 out of 10 to?
Ford v Ferrari.
Well, that's because it was boring as
Oh.
fuck.
A real fan who agrees with me.
Oh, you mean the
I
one that
see.
also hates you for giving Beekeeper like a 2 or something?
No, I need a fan that agrees with me. If you're out there, let us know in the
I mean, the
comments.
There's
closest
a little-
the closest you're gonna
If there's a
get,
little Marshallito out there,
the closest you're gonna get is your wife, and she makes
Dude,
you cry on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, I decided just to make my own Marshall too.
He'll be indoctrined
is that the name?
he'll be indoctrined to
Yeah,
believe
my
me.
kid's name is just gonna be Marshall 2 the
Not
second.
Junior, too.
Marshall 2, the second junior.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
So
that's what we're
What
just
are we,
gonna call him.
what are we
now.
giving this movie,
I
boys?
kind of agree with the sentiment Marshall was giving.
Oh,
What?
I think Marshall wants to be done forever.
Well,
I
There's nothing else you guys want to talk about.
well, we're
I
also
didn't say
we
that.
are nearing the hour mark, and that's usually about what we go to. Would you
Go on,
agree?
Jobe. What were you saying?
I was saying overall, this movie, like you were saying, it's good animation, pretty fun story, decent jokes. I think the only thing we're really missing is I wouldn't have minded like a comic relief character specifically, just like a character who just exists to tell jokes and doesn't have like a deeper character arc or motive. But with all that being said, this movie is an easy watch and very fun. Also, if I can appropriate that term, I give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Crazy.
I thought it was pretty. I haven't watched the Shrek verse in quite some time, so it was kind of fun to delve back into that and revisit one of my favorite characters from one of the movies of Shrek, which is of course Perito. No, I'm just kidding. It's Wolf because death is present and all. Do you think other things see like is he a wolf to everybody else, or do you think he just like is subconsciously afraid
He's
of
a
a
wolf because Puss in Boots is a cat
Yeah.
and wolves are the ultimate dog.
Interesting. But overall, I did have obviously some parts where I was like, I could have done without it. So, but overall, I liked it. I thought it was a good enough movie. I don't remember the first Puss in Boots, but I'm sure that this is better. I did think it was weird though that Marshall just felt like he didn't want to discuss Jack Horner at all.
Yeah, Jack Horner. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot what his name was, but I looked up a cast list and I saw a picture of John Mulaney next to the character, and it made everything click. Yeah, Jack Horner's funny.
He's a pretty. I like his big thumb. Marshall doesn't want to talk. Okay. I'm curious though. Before I give my score, what would you guys wish for if you got the last wish?
That's fucked up, man. You can't just throw that on me. At
Why
the last
not?
second.
You've had the whole episode to think about it. You knew it was coming.
That's my wish. I wish I was.
Fucking hell, Marshall. What would you have wished for?
$42 million.
An
I would've
interesting
wished for
amount.
43.
I feel like 1 million's too lame.
That's true.
And 100 million is too much. So right in the middle at 40.
It's directly in the middle.
Just added to the economy, that would just completely
Nah.
value a dollar.
If I was like actually making a wish, I hit him with 42 million US dollars deposited into my bank account that has no effect on my personal taxes or the economy of
So
the
Marshall's
world.
definitely seeing that video where the guy's asking the genie about the negative connotations.
I know a thing or two because I've
See,
seen
it
a
was
thing or
making
two.
me think of there's an episode of The Misadventures of Flapjack where they have wishes, and they get down to the last wish. Or no, he gets down to the last 2 wishes, and his first wish is he's like, I wish for a new hat and a corn dog, and now I wish to be on Candy Island. But he only gets the new hat and the corn dog because that was 2 wishes. Like, no, but I said it in the same sentence. That's 1 wish.
I'd probably wish for like a really cool Beyblade, or maybe for like
Beyblade,
Code
dude.
Lyoko to be real.
For Yu-Gi-Oh's hair.
Do you understand how much like hair product does it? You'd spend You'd spend 42 million of Marshall's dollars.
I'm not asking for hair like Yu-Gi-Oh.
I just want to have it.
I'm asking for Yu-Gi-Oh's
I'll
hair.
give you.
You get
I'll
the
get you,
2D completely flat.
But like,
Yeah.
no matter what angle you're looking at, it looks exactly the same. Nah, it's good. That's good. I will say, I do think that part of this, the ending of this movie, lost me because the wish is wasted. We live in a world where like magic just fully exists, and we completely waste the last wish. There will never be another wish, and no one uses it. Papa doesn't get his eye. Baby doesn't get a lifetime supply of honey. Mama doesn't get another Goldilocks because I assume that's what she would want. And Kitty Softpaws
Trace
doesn't get her
just-
claws back.
Trace could understand the idea that people were content with their lives at the end of it.
Sure, they were
and
content, but
didn't
you could
need
always have
anything
more,
else.
you know? Or
But they didn't need
you
it.
could have given it to someone else. You could have been like, you know what? I wish for
Consumerism.
Shrek,
That's
one
not
of my
how
best friends, to have a
contentment
really
works.
good day
If
today.
you're truly content, you're not like, oh, I could go for more.
No, content is like, you're fine, but like,
You're
you could have
content.
more.
Content is
Content is never like, my life's perfect though.
Dude,
No,
you're
but
like
it's- you're content
Ratchet
with your lot in
from
life. You don't work
Robots,
for
and I'm
anything
Big
else.
Weld, and Jobe's Rodney Copper.
I'm gonna be real. These words mean nothing to me
right.
because I haven't watched that movie since I was a toddler.
But it's Ewan McGregor.
Or
And I'm Mel Brooks, and you're Ratchet.
Marshall doesn't know the
You're,
actor.
you're such a ratchet, dude. It's not even
You know
funny,
what?
dude.
Trace, what's your score?
I'm just
You know
so
what?
thrown off because
Worst episode
Marshall
yet.
always goes first or second, rather.
Fine, my score. You
It's
know
gonna
my
be like
score,
a 10
big
or
bud?
something, so it's like kind of
It's
a,
9.2
Oh, it's
for
8.56678888.
interesting. Well, I have to
Seven,
keep my
seven,
downslope score going on, so it's gonna be a 7.
Slope score? What the fuck?
I'm
are you
just at
talking
this
about?
point. I've just decided to kind of throw words out there just to see what happens.
He's throwing out.
Trace has
throwing out-
discovered talking.
He's throwing out the McGonagall Gambit. That's a 7 out of 10.
All right.
It's the Queen's
next
Gambit.
week-
You fuck.
Next week we have a
who
Trace
stars in
pick.
that?
Taylor.
We have
By
a
Taylor?
Trace pick of Diary of the Wimpy Kid. Roderick
Taylor
Rules.
Joy.
Roderick Rules.
Yeah, he
Diary of
does.
the Wimpy Kid. Trace
Don't
pick.
call me.
I don't think I've seen this movie. I'm gonna be real.
Don't come to my house.
I think I've seen the first one, but I don't think I've seen
God.
this one.
Hey, Job, you want to do a bit in this next one where I just completely ignore the idea of Greg
I like
Hessler?
that you immediately assumed that this was my idea. Like I'm to
No,
blame here.
But it's your pick. It's your
Oh, so when
pick.
we do
But it doesn't
Jobe's
matter
pick,
because
we'll do something.
Yeah, we'll do something for Job's
We
pick.
won't.
It'll
He's
just
lying to me.
be we'll bully him.
Trace,
we'll
I'm
make
on,
fun of
I'm
his
on
this shit.
the other
Oh,
side of
sorry.
you.
He won't. He's just full of shit.
No, I'm all right.
He
Catch
hates
us
me.
on our social
Social.
medias or whatever. You have
Where?
a great
But-
night. Where?
Wait,
Have
where
a great
shall-
night in your bed in
wants,
Chicago.
Like, to do a Cleveland
Chicago.
talking
All right,
over
bye-bye.
the whole